Hello, everyone. Hola. Back in 2013, when I served as presidential inaugural poet for Barack Obama, I learned something very important. America is still a work in progress, and it's our civic duty to keep working on it, to keep writing that still unfinished story of we the people. And one of the most powerful and easiest ways to do that is by voting, so that you, your families, and communities don't get left out of that story. To inspire you to vote, I'd like to share this poem, which was in turn inspired by the enduring words of the Declaration of Independence, but recast as a Declaration of Interdependence to remind us of the common purpose of these United States and the origins of our democratic right to redress by voting. Declaration of Interdependence. Such has been the patient sufferance, where a mother's bread, instant potatoes, milk at a checkout line, where her 3 children pleading for bubblegum and their father, where the 3 minutes she steals to page through a tabloid, needing to believe even stars' lives are as joyful or as bruised. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. Where her second job serving an executive absorbed in his Wall Street Journal at a sidewalk cafe shadowed by skyscrapers, where the shadows of the fortune he won and the family he lost, where his loss and the lost, where a father in a coal town who can't mind a life anymore because too much and too little has happened for too long. A history of repeated injuries and usurpations, where the grit of his main street's blacked out windows and graffitied truths, where a street in another town lined with royal palms, at home with a Peace Corps couple who collect African art, where their dinner party talk of wines, wielded picket signs and burned draft cards, where what they know, it's time to do more than read the New York Times, buy fair trade coffee and organic corn. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress. We're the farmer who grew that corn, who plows into his couch as worn as his back by the end of the day, where his TV set blaring news having everything and nothing to do with the field dust in his eyes or his son nested in the ache of his arms. We're his son. We're a black teenager who drove too fast or too slow, talked too much or too little, moved too quickly but not quick enough. We're the blast of the bullet leaving the gun. We're the guilt and the grief of the cop who wished he hadn't shot. We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. We're the dead. We're the living amid the flicker of vigil candlelight. We're in a dim cell with an inmate reading Dostoevsky. We're his crime, his sentence, his amends. We're the mending of ourselves and others. We're a Buddhist serving soup at a shelter alongside a stockbroker. We're each other's shelter and hope. A widow's 50 cents in a collection plate and a golfer's $10,000 pledge for a cure. We hold these truths to be self-evident. We hold these truths to be self-evident. We're the cure for the hatred caused by our despair. We're the good morning of a bus driver who remembers our name, the tattooed man who gives up his seat on the subway. Where every door held open with a smile when we look into each other's eyes the way we behold the moon. We're the moon. We are the promise of one people, one breath, declaring to one another, I see you, I need you, I am you. Thank you.